Hello everyone. Tonight I decided to do something different and to review not a single car, not two or three cars, but actually the 5 packs. And here we have two nice 5 packs from Matchbox. The first thing that I noticed with these two packs is that something I really didn't like about the 5 packs was not being able to understand what type of cars are in the pack unless you were able to recognize them. So, to help us, Matchbox and Mattel have done this. Can you see how nice this is? It's a attempt to, and I think it's something that looks very nice. You know, it tells you what the models are with different logos. That's something I really appreciate. So, and here's the other one. Of course, you can see the presence of unlicensed models with the Matchbox logo. But I would say, all in all, it looks very nice. Because this is an age-old problem that I had with multi-packs. I was always unwilling to buy them because I didn't know which models were actually in there. And the other reason is, of course, when you buy a 5-pack, chances are that one or more of the models in the pack, you already own them, so they'll end up being duplicates. But anyway, let's move on to the first pack. So this is the Coffee Cruisers number 2. And we have a nice selection of cars. I don't actually have any of these, so this went straight into my cart. So the first one on top is, of course, we can now turn to the right and read what this is. 1962 Volkswagen Beetle. Very successful car. And then on to the 1972 Lotus Europa. And then back in time, this is a very nice car. It must have featured in many movies from The Untouchables and probably The Irishman or something like that. This is the Plymouth sedan. It doesn't say which year this is from, but of course, if you open the pack and turn the car upside down, that will tell you. And then moving on to Chevrolet 1947 Chevy AD 3100. It's a nice pickup. I suppose people were driving this both in the cities and in the countryside. And then the last of the lot down here, you can probably read at the back, it says Dodge. And in fact, this is a 1978 Dodge Monaco Police. It doesn't actually refer to any police corps specifically. It says Matchbox State Police. In terms of accuracy and details, to be honest, there isn't a great deal of them, especially if we compare these models with the Green Light models, the Johnny Lightning models, the Mini GT ones, even the Schuko ones from Germany. They're quite different. But all in all, I think you can appreciate the shapes and the proportions of the cars. This one is very nice. It's actually got something that mimics a replacement tire here at the back. And I believe of these 5, the best looking one is this. It's sleek and nice. Probably these cars didn't lend themselves to many details. And this car is from 1978. It's pretty much an era when, in the US, in North America at least, there wasn't a great deal of fancy shapes or anything like that, such as what we saw in Europe later on. I remember watching a movie where Enzo Ferrari was actually heavily criticizing Henry Ford, and he told him, "You, sir, produce very ugly cars. Big, heavy, expensive, and ugly, and nobody wants to buy them." Well, actually, people wanted to buy them. It's just that the emphasis placed on style was different between Ford which had, you know, a certain number of vehicles produced per year, and Ferrari, I believe, Ford sold something in the region of 10 million vehicles. We're talking about the Ford Mustang, of course, of the first 3 years, and I believe their prediction on the number of models that they would have sold was much lower than that. So by all means, a tremendous success. Now let's move on to the second 5-pack. Quick look at these models. We have the Matchbox Skidster. This 5-pack contains actually 2 unlicensed models. I'm not really precious about these ones. I don't like them particularly. What I like the most about Matchbox is trying to replicate cars that Hot Wheels is not producing. And I think this is a Mattel strategy. Of course, the 2 brands being owned by Mattel, you know, it wouldn't make a lot of sense to actually produce the same models, although we'll come to that later. The second model is the 1966 Dodge A100 pickup with the Gulf Oil livery, and I believe this is my 4th or 5th model with this livery. I really love this one. Sometimes I remind myself, oh, I don't know much about Gulf Oil. Let's go back and read about this. Of course, I'm not so much referring to as the oil company as I'm referring to the racing division of Gulf Oil. Now, I don't know whether they actually they're actually operating this Dodge pickup with this livery or not, or whether this is just a bit of an inventive touch from Mattel. We don't know. I personally don't. So if you guys know, you can leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know. Let's move on to the Matchbox Water Worker. It's a nice piece of a model that you know, it's used in construction sites. The interesting thing is, if you, I hope you appreciate this, if you try and turn this slightly upside down, you can see, of course, that the back of the model is empty. So this isn't really a tank you can fill with anything. It's just a piece of plastics, and I mean, for the price we pay for each Matchbox model, what are we hoping for? I hear many of you say, and you're right. Let's move on to this other model. This is very nice. This is actually a MAN TGS dump truck. Now, MAN seems to be one of the staple models produced by Majorette as of lately. And I've seen a great many of these models. I've seen a fire truck and many others produced by Majorette, but this is the first one that I've ever seen being produced by Matchbox, and it's a nice one. It's got a nice trailer here at the back. You got the replacement wheel or something. It looks like it. I think this one doesn't move. It's just there fixed, and they've tried to replicate the rear view mirrors somehow. If you see my other videos, there's a video about a green light model, and you can see the extent of detail that they've added to that model when it comes to just the rear view mirrors. Well, not in this one, unfortunately. Well, it is what it is. Let's move on to the last one, the 2014 Chevy Silverado. I have to be honest, this is probably the one model that Matchbox and Hot Wheels are producing at the same time, if I'm not mistaken. Coincidentally, it's green. Now the space between the wheels and the chassis is much different on this model than it is on the Hot Wheels model. It looks like this has more space. Pretty much, you know, there's a high level of resemblance with the true model, of course. Okay, it's got 2 front lights, whereas the Hot Wheels model has got probably 1, or at least it looks like 1, and maybe they were meant to be 2. I don't know. Anyway, this is probably the end of my review. The last thing I wanted to really check very quickly is whether these models are part of the 2021 collections or the 2020 collection. It probably says 2020 up here on the left. And let's look at the other one. And yep, same here. Well, overall, this is what they look like for the price I paid for them. It's probably about one British pound for each one. I think this is in the region of 90 US cents, or probably 90 euro cents of, this is the retail price. This was a quick look at two Matchbox 5 packs. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you again soon.